Welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine, and I have such a treat for you today. I am so excited because we have finally got a special guest today that's joining us for a coffee break. And it is something that I know we as women have been waiting to get some answers. So, hope everybody's doing well. Please let me know what you're drinking as you're chiming in to get this information that is long awaited. So, today's mixed blend brew is going to be all about menopause unmasked. Whoo! Yes, ladies. Yes, yes, yes. Finally, we can get some answers. And I know I need some answers because lately I've been having these brain fog moments. But let me do this. Let me tell you a little bit about our special guest. For generations, menopause has been whispered about in the shadows, misunderstood, stigmatized, and often endured in silence. We understand that, right? Because we have not been able to get the answers that we need for our own self, knowing we're going through something, but nobody can label it. Nobody knows what it is, right? But today's conversation pulls back the veil. In Menopause Unmasked, we have Coach Cathleen, a passionate wellness coach for women, ordained minister, and holistic health advocate. She opens up the dialogue to help women reclaim power over their bodies, emotions, and self image during one of life's most profound transitions. Coach Kathleen brings a faith based yet practical perspective that blends spirituality, science, and sisterhood. Her mission to transform menopause from something women suffer through into something they grow through. So, together, we'll discuss the myths, emotions, and mindset shifts needed to navigate menopause with grace, confidence, and wholeness. Well, you know what? I have said enough. Let me get Coach Kathleen in studio with us. Coach Kathleen, you know it's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
We've had the privilege of sharing a space with her. I mean, we shared a space, a stage together. That's when I met her. Thank you, Lady K, for bringing us together.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Lady K is someone we're doing an anthology book with, but she'll be another guest on. But today, we finally got Coach Kathleen with us.
Honored. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
This is going to be such a real treat because what I was exposed to in such, I don't even think it was 15 minutes. It was less than 15 minutes. It was mind blowing, the information you bought in such a short time that I said, we have to connect and I have to get you on my show. And here we are today. And not just today, you are going to be a resident guest monthly. That is a blessing for all
I'm
you
so
out there.
excited.
So
Yeah.
let's get into it. Enough talking for me. I just want to get into this. Tell us a little bit about who Coach Kathleen is and why this area of menopause.
Sure. So I'm a mom, of course, a grandmom. I
Yeah.
have two amazing little granddaughters, 3 years old, 1 year old. My son is only son. I am a registered nurse. I
Okay.
studied nursing first, then I went on to law, so I am also a licensed attorney. I am, as you mentioned, I'm a reverend at my church. I'm also a chaplain, and I'm Jamaican, so that's why I am
It's all the hats. Is that all the-
bless Jamaica tonight. Um, but I am also a woman of a certain age, having gone through menopause without the support that I needed, without the knowledge that I needed to be able to go through it successfully, go through it with some love for myself and understanding of
Yeah.
what my body was going through. So basically, what got me into this was having gotten here to this stage where I'm not through it completely, but having been through many stages of it, now finding out that all of the trouble and issues and so forth that I was having were related to menopause.
Mm.
Doctors, I'd been to a million doctors, going through not just hot flashes, but as we'll get into the conversation, many, many more symptoms that I experienced that I hear other women talking about that they have no idea could be related to menopause. And why?
Absolutely.
Like one
That's
time,
what got me. That's what got me. I was like, really?
yes,
But go ahead, because
really.
yes,
So that's what got me here. That's what got me into this, because as I began to study it, I recognized that it wasn't just me. It's not just me that doesn't understand this. Not only that, Germaine, when I would talk about it now, from the position I'm in now, to my doctors that I go to, and they're like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I'm like,
mind-boggling, right? We
"Yeah,
spend this
yeah."
money and they can't give us answers.
So a lot of them just don't know, and it's not you know I don't know. There's one of the doctors that I study. She's written a book, and I talk, listening to her make the apology to her patients, saying that
Mm.
she really did not understand menopause until she went through menopause,
Oh
and
wow.
actually making an apology, saying so many women that I missed the mark on helping them deal with symptoms that they were having, because I didn't know that they were related to menopause,
Yeah.
related to the hormonal changes that impact head to toe things in our body,
Mm.
So from the having gone through like really difficult periods and cramps and fibroids and hysterectomy and early onset of menopause as a result of hysterectomy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody stopped and said, hey, you know what? These symptoms are related to menopause. These symptoms are related to menopause. So there are some things that we can do to help you, not the traditional medicine kind of things, take a Benadryl, take an aspirin,
Yeah.
take a Tylenol, take a this, take a that, but there are some other things that you can do. And we'll get into that. We'll have plenty of time to get into that, but it includes diet. It includes nutrition.
Right.
It includes exercise. It includes sleep, even in the sleeplessness that's caused by menopause,
Wow.
you know? So yeah, so there's a lot.
Oh my gosh. So where do we start?
I know. I know. So, well, hey, Germaine, I bought you a coffee.
Ah, we're gonna start there. Thank you so much. I people always ask, how can we support the platform? How can we support the platform? We really love what you're doing and we see you all the time now. I said, you know what? Just by being consistent, you know, the algorithm is picking up. So people just want to know. So thank you so much. So buy me a coffee is, well, you guys can order from the, if you want to order from the, what's on the wall, you can, but so exactly. So buy me a coffee is really, it's just a platform that I've partnered with that allows people as little as $1 a day to just come in and say, hey, I want to support, so I want to buy you a coffee. And I'm just going to run. You know what? We're just going to take a quick break, a few seconds, and we're just going to run this quick ad. So, for those out there, before we really get into this, because I do not want any interruptions, right? We don't want any interruptions. We want you to get all the information from Coach Cathleen. So, what I'm going to do is just run a quick break before we get started on how you can be a supporter of Morning Brew with Germaine just by buying me a coffee as little as $1. Hold on one second. Welcome to Morning Brew with your girl Germaine on Buy Me a Coffee. Every cup you buy helps fuel inspiration, conversations, and creative content for our growing community. So grab a seat, stop by for a coffee break, sip with us, and thank you so much for pouring into purpose with me. Morning Brew, I'll see you in the next coffee break. So,
Love
buy
it.
me a coffee. Thank you so much for that. And anyone, if you like, you can buy me a coffee. It just goes towards really helping to build community. There's so many people in need, but also it helps us to build this platform to really bring information like Coach Cathleen for those that are coming with the knowledge and the information to help build us and equip us. So let's get back into this conversation about menopause unmasked.
So you asked, where do we start? And that's such a good question because a lot of women, before they begin to experience menopause, not only don't really talk about it much, but they don't even necessarily know that they have begun the menopause cycle. So there is premenopause,
Yeah.
there's perimenopause, like around menopause, and then there's menopause and
Okay.
postmenopause. So there's actually 4 stages. So
Okay.
yeah, so premenopause may, in maybe late 30s, early 40s, you may begin to see just some slight changes. You may see, a missed period here or there, not consistently missed.
Okay.
You may begin to notice just some changes in your body, maybe some changes in the reproductive cycle. You may see some weight gain, just, premenopausal symptoms, just some things that are inconsistent with what you have experienced with regular periods, reproductive cycle. You're not saying that you are no longer capable of conceiving or having children or anything like that, but just premenopausal symptoms can begin. Headaches,
Okay.
different things you might just start to experience and say, what's that? Then you get to perimenopause. Now you
Okay.
may be seeing that you're consistently missing periods. Maybe not every month or every other month, but you might see a decrease in flow, increase in flow, no period at all. You may start to have some hot flashes. You may start to see changes again in your weight. You might begin to experience acne. Some of the things that we think, oh man, I'm over that. Acne, come on, that was from when I was a
Exactly.
preteen.
Teenager. Right.
Skin changes, rashes, dry eyes, all kinds of things. You might start to have bleeding of the gums, changes in your dental, not your dental hygiene, but your dentistry, like your gums, your teeth might get a little shaky. You might start seeing bleeding happening more frequently. And like,
Okay.
what's all this going on? Go to the dentist and they're going to start treating you for, okay, well, you have periodontal disease or you have this or you have,
Exactly.
but they're treating what they diagnose as opposed to the underlying cause that may be related. Because once you start to have a decrease of estrogen or a change in the hormones, you will start to see changes in your body because estrogen fuels us. It fuels kind of, like what we're accustomed to with our womanhood, our femininity. And so we start to see not just that change, but all kinds of things start to change.
Absolutely.
So that's, perimenopause. Around menopause, you're not in menopause yet. So when do you hit menopause? Menopause happens after you have missed your period for 12 consecutive months.
Okay.
No period, 12 consecutive months. That day, that 12th month period that you miss, that's the day you're in menopause.
Wow. Okay. I do remember my gynecologist saying that to me because they want to know
Yes,
when was your last cycle.
that's right. That's
So,
right. I always ask you that. And how
okay.
much don't even remember, right? Because you're not even necessarily tracking it. And if you don't know that you need to track it, or you don't know that menopause is that day, then you may, I don't know, I think 8 months ago, 6 months ago, 5, like, I don't know, a long time.
Exactly. Not knowing that you're already in it.
you're already in it, right? Or you feel like after 6 months, 4 periods, you miss 4 periods, you're like, oh man, I'm in menopause. Well, perimenopause, not menopause.
Peri. Okay. And that's stage 2. So you said premenopause and then perimenopause. But
Perimenopause.
there's 4 stages. Now I'm typing this so people can actually see the 4 stages
Oh, okay.
as you're talking about it.
And then menopause is that day that you
That
miss the
date.
12th month of your period, no period, then that's menopause.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
you're not in menopause anymore. You're now
You're,
postmenopausal.
oh my gosh.
Right? I
It
know.
happens that fast.
It's a little crazy. Um, so sorry, Alexa's talking, but
That's okay. She wants to get in on a conversation.
conversation. So right, so menopause. So we call it postmenopause, but it's menopause, right? It's
Got it.
all menopause, all related. But menopause, when you are in that 12-month period, you
Mhm.
will begin to experience all the different symptoms of menopause, or you may. Everybody doesn't. Everyone is different. So
Mhm.
you may not experience everything. I'm going to talk about a lot of the symptoms now. You may not experience everything. You may
Okay.
experience some of the things. You may be experiencing things and you don't think it's menopause. That's why it's so important for us to have these conversations and have these
Absolutely.
conversations with our daughters, with our sons, with our husbands, with our partners, with just making sure our family, our moms, making sure our sisters, even,
Yes.
and just making sure that we're not in the dark about this.
Absolutely. You mentioned men also because I think men think they're absent from this.
They,
Or
you know, that it's so funny that you say that. But go ahead, go ahead. Finish your thought. Finish your
no,
thought real quick.
that was my statement. I think men think that they're absent from this and it's just a woman's thing that we go through.
So, guess what? So, I talked to a couple of men about this.
Break
And
it down,
I
coach.
know, I know. I talked to a couple of men about this, and the men that I spoke to, and not all men, but the men that I spoke to, they said that they feel as though women feel that men are absent from this because women don't talk to them about menopause.
That is a good point. It's been such a hush hush topic. It's almost been a lot of times now that more women are talking about it, an embarrassment, like their mates are going to look at them differently,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
because so many of the changes kind of, they have an impact on us, right? An impact emotionally, an impact physically, an impact biologically, psychologically, spiritually,
Mhm.
all of it. It has an impact on us. One of the things that I say is really this is reimagining women's wellness, reimagining who we are as women, knowing that menopause doesn't mean that we stop being women or we're any less feminine or any less sexy or any less beautiful than we ever were. We are just now in a different phase of our womanhood. And learning what that means helps us to have more confidence about who we are, who we remain as phenomenal women, women of God, women of faith, women of women, just womanhood.
Exactly.
And it does not reduce us at all. But the culture of our society puts so much pressure on women to be beautiful, to be thin, to be this, to be that, to be the to be young. It then says, "Oh my God, one, I am not, whether I have children or I don't have children, I'm no longer capable of having children." And one of the things that made me dynamic was the fact that I could have children if I
Yeah,
wanted to, right?
absolutely.
Um,
Absolutely.
and women who have not had children or were incapable of having children may have begun to have this experience long before. But that's
Mhm.
one of the things that happens for women in menopause. Another thing, one of the symptoms of menopause is increasing weight gain, but particularly abdominal weight gain.
That midsection.
that midsection, that belly that's starting to hang a little bit over,
Yeah,
you know, and we find sometimes exercise doesn't touch it, diet doesn't touch it,
absolutely.
you know, and a lot of times we don't understand necessarily that it's related to hormones because we just feel like, oh man, we're getting older, we're getting heavy, you know, and that's another one of the stereotypes that we hear about older women. Okay, you're especially women of color, right? Especially
Yes,
Black women. We're teased about hair loss, which is one of the
absolutely. Hair thinning.
hair thinning, hair
Yes.
loss, weight gain, skin
E-
changes.
Even our teeth, teeth shifting. I was speaking with someone and they were just saying how their teeth are dressed. It's like just all of a sudden the
Yeah,
shifting in their teeth, you
because
know?
there are changes in the gums.
Okay.
The strength of the gums, and making sure that we're taking really good care of our gums, and these are things that the dentist may tell you anyway, but may
Mhm.
not be relating it to hormonal changes.
Okay.
So flossing and making sure that maybe you're doing more than one kind of flossing. Maybe you need in the water pick, maybe you are using the typical, string
Ring.
and floss
Mhm.
and so forth, but making sure, some people floss, some people don't, some people feel that it's critical to do, some people don't, some people used to, and all that. But when you are younger and you know that this is going to be coming, then you can begin it and make it a complete habit, so that when you get to the point where there's starting to have some changes in the gums and around your
Yeah.
and so forth, that you are taking really good care of them and making sure that whatever kind of toothpaste and mouthwash that you're getting, the fluoride that you need, that you're really doing everything that you can to strengthen the gums. And not for nothing that we don't want to forget that some women really will need to consider hormone therapy. I'm not pushing that for anyone, but it is something to really have a very serious conversation with your medical providers about, because absent that, you will have to do some major other things to make sure that
Yes.
you are able to take care of all the changes that are happening in your body.
That's interesting you brought that up about just hormones, our hormones. And one of my girlfriends, her hormones are just out of control. She had to go to a specialist, one of the top specialists regarding her hormones. And because they were so out of whack with everything she was dealing with, just going through, and it's menopause related.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
such a major shift, things that we just don't know. How can we talk about things we don't know, even to our loved ones? All
That's
we
it.
know is they just think we are a raging lunatic.
That's it. That's it. We might think we are too, right? Like, oh my God, I must have Alzheimer's. Oh my goodness, I'm getting dementia. Oh my
Oh
goodness,
my god.
what is this brain fog? Oh my goodness, where
Yes.
are my glasses? I can't find them. I put them, I had them right here. What happened?
It's
You know,
a real thing. We're not crazy.
no, it's not. What did I walk in this room for? I know I
Oh
came
my
here
god.
for something. I just okay. Maybe if I walk back out, I'll remember what it was. Where'd I put my keys? Oh my gosh! Now I can't get to work on time. I don't know where my keys are.
Exactly.
Where's my purse? Like,
Oh my god. It is it's some real things that we're laughing about it now, but in the midst of it, you really think you're losing your mind.
you think you're losing.
I'm sitting at my desk sometimes and it's like, what was I getting ready to
Yeah,
do? Like what did I have to do?
yeah.
But
It's a real
and it comes
thing.
down to menopause.
A lot of it comes down to
Oh my
menopause, and
gosh.
brain fog is one of the
Talk about this. Let's talk about that a little.
is one of the symptoms. Like suddenly you're just like, what's going on? What was I doing? Why can't I focus? Why is, you're at work and suddenly a ton of work and it's just like, wait a minute. I can't even focus on this right
Yeah.
now. Sitting in a meeting maybe and you just not really daydreaming, but just a fog hit, and then you will become really super sensitive about that, insecure about it, and
Yes.
not wanting to be in certain environments, like, okay, maybe I need to get up and go to the bathroom. Maybe, okay, let me just get a little
Something, right?
let me
Trying to
get some
just get
water.
yourself back in alignment.
Right. And on top of all of that, maybe sitting in a meeting and all of a sudden this inferno starts to happen, right? Just
Mm,
like starting from, whether it's starting from the toes or starting from the knees or in the hips or in the belly or whatever, and it just like rises, and this intense heat just rises, right? And you're just sweating now, and you're trying to not be seen sweating, but you can't help it because you're just like,
yeah. It's
soaking wet, hot.
personal summer at the wrong time.
At the wrong time. And they say summer, but it's a little more like a volcano, it feels like.
At the wrong time.
At the wrong time. And that's another thing. I'm so glad you said that, because it's not only that it's at the wrong time, but when a lot of times we don't even realize that stress helps to
Mm,
helps to kick off
yes.
a hot flash. Stress,
Let me just.
caffeine, alcohol, diet, sugar, all the things that we want to crave, right? Everything that we know, maybe if you're trying to be live a really healthy diet and be nutritionally savvy, the things that people will say to avoid, those are things to also avoid, because they can help to trigger hot flashes. And there are some things that we can do to help, like, cool down a hot flash if you can.
What
Um,
is that? Please go into that.
Listen, and so it's so interesting that some of it is really so simple. Really, okay, so I'm right here. I happen to just have a glass of water with me, with
Yes.
lipstick all over it. But normally, I'm not drinking water out of a glass. I'm drinking it out of a thermos, because that water's got to be cold.
Okay, so cold water
It's
will
got to be
help cool the
cold,
body.
So cold water, cold tea, a really cool drink, having that available with you all the time. So
Okay.
a hot flash begins, even, as you see, because you do feel when it's getting ready to start. You can feel it. Um,
Yes.
as we become more aware of our bodies, you'll know, hey, I think that's that feeling, that's that sensation that a hot flash is beginning to start. And you just, sip on that cold water. Really, if you can, I don't have it here in the room with me, so I'm not going to get up, but making sure you always have a fan with you, whether it's a handheld fan, a
Oh, a
portable
little
fan.
portable one. Where's my portable fan that I always keep
I
with me?
know.
Can't leave
Like
home without it.
it's much more popular now too, because you'll see women, a lot of places, you'll just see them having holding a portable fan. And that's
Mhm.
something that, in the workplace, you might be kind of embarrassed to do that. You're in
Not
a meeting.
anymore.
Hey, you can this is not no longer something to be embarrassed about, which is why
No,
it's so important to have conversations like that, even in the workplace. HR,
exactly.
listen, you have to understand.
It's
Women
becoming more accepted. More people are
are
talking about it. And so people already know when you pull out that fan,
yes.
that little portable fan or that, hand fan, people already know
Yeah, they
it's
do.
a
They
real
are,
thing.
and it's really, I think it's essential for there to be a cultural shift, or a societal cultural shift around menopause and women's health. It's
Yes.
necessary for us, but just as I mentioned to you, we have to have those conversations with family members, with the men in our lives, our daughters, and so forth. So it's not a situation where, and God bless my mom, we
Mm.
did not talk about menopause. So it's
No,
not a situation, no.
taboo.
She never,
Nobody had answers. Why talk about it? There's
yeah,
but there was always like I don't know if it was Primrose. It was always things that you could take to stop it, you know?
Yes.
But
Always.
nobody talk about it. It's like the changing of life cycle. It feels like nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody can really give you answers for it. So we just dealt with it.
We just dealt with it. And so it's now years after my mom passed, and I'm doing, more and more conversations about menopause. I'm like, you know what? Mommy was always fanning. She was always
Wow.
fanning. And I
Wow.
was like, she was probably having a hot flash. My
Exactly.
mother could make a fan out of anything. She could fan with
To keep cool. Yeah,
if
to
there was
stay
an
cool.
envelope in the house, it was her fan. It was a newspaper, it
It was her fan.
whatever it was, a magazine, oh my gosh, it was her fan. She was always fanning, and now that I think about it, I was like, that probably
That's
was
what
what
it
she was going through. She was dealing with
exactly.
because we were like, "Why are you hot? Like, why are
And
you?"
it's like winter time, right?
And she was like, "Oh, stop, oh, stop."
Exactly. But it's interesting, even then, it's something that wasn't even passed down to girls, you
That's right.
know? Parents didn't talk about it to pass it down, what to expect, what to look for. Your body's gonna go through changes, you know? My
No.
mom used to just say, I'm having a personal summer right now. Okay, what's that?
Yes.
Because I'm cold right now.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. I'm cold right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, she didn't my mom didn't talk to us, and like you said, what's there to talk about? If nobody's talking to me, what am I gonna say to you? Okay, I'm having a hot
Exactly.
flash and I'm having a hot flash. And we're like, really? What's
What's
that
that? I
about?
can't answer. I don't have any answers. And when I go to the doctor and tell them what's going on, they didn't have answers either.
They don't have answers either. I
Yeah,
remember some people used to say to me, when you get older, you'll find out.
absolutely.
That doesn't help.
Wait, wait, you just had a look on your face like question mark, question mark, question mark. What?
Like, okay, well, hopefully I won't get older then, or well, I want to get older, but I don't want to find that out. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
But I remember that was one thing too. It's like when you get older, you'll find out. And my
Exactly.
father, I don't even know if he knew the word. I'm sure he did, but like I don't know.
Probably not. That's why I say most men are absent from it because we as women, we don't talk to them about it. We just keep it ourselves. So we take whatever comes with it because we're clueless to it. But now we're getting more knowledge from it and it's become an open discussion,
Yeah,
open conversation. People
yeah,
are actually talking about it and not ashamed to stand up and say, "Listen." Sometimes I'm like, "Excuse me, I need my fan."
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes I'm live and I say, listen, y'all, I'm having one of the moments. I just need to
yes.
cool off.
And that, and I think that is so beautiful. I'm so happy when that happens. But I do find that women who are younger
Hmm.
are not as interested in the conversation, feeling like, okay, I ain't got time, first of all.
Exactly.
And I don't need to know anything about all of that.
And
Uh,
I don't need nobody looking at me like I'm already midlife.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. Exactly. It's like, I don't know, maybe 200 hot flashes in now we're ready to talk about it.
Exactly.
Like, okay, I
Wait, I just thought about your mom. In that moment, you'll find out as you get older.
that's it. That's it.
That's
And
the
then when I
response
had
they're
that
looking
hurt
for.
But when I had the first hot flash, I didn't even know what was happening to me. I was like, "Should I
Oh,
call an ambulance? Like, somebody
wait.
call 911." Like,
Wait, you know what? I'm gonna tell you a story. The first time I experienced the hot flash, it's right after DMX had passed away. So I was with his ex-wife Tashira, and we were taping for BET, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm holding a camera while she's interviewing, and all of a sudden, I just started getting overheated and sweating and like I just needed to get out of these clothes right now while I'm
yes.
trying to be steady and hold this camera. And she says, girl, I think you having a hot flash right now. I'm like, what? Not right now. It was so uncomfortable, and I couldn't do anything but take it in
Take
that
it.
moment because it was being taped. I couldn't I couldn't do anything but take it. And so when it was over, she was like, "Girl, I think you just experienced your first hot flash." I said, "I think so. This is
Yes.
crazy." My whole body was on fire.
Yes.
And then I didn't have one for a period of time after that.
See.
So I was just like, "Is that what I'm going to have to deal with?"
Yeah.
Because you feel like you're literally being cooked sometimes.
Really. From the
It is
inside,
that, yeah, uncomfortable.
from the inside out. And then,
Absolutely.
I don't know about you, but when I had hot flashes, after the hot flash was over, I'm freezing.
Exactly. And I'm always cold, you know? So you're absolutely right.
Freezing. And then, my clothes would be soaked depending upon the, degree of the hot.
Exactly.
My clothes would be wet, my undergarments would be wet. You
Exactly.
literally needed to change clothes.
Exactly.
And
That's
so
how I felt in that moment.
yeah,
And you know what's so interesting is I monitor it now. When a hot flash comes, I monitor what was I doing? What did I just eat to that will cause it to come? In that moment being the first time, I wasn't doing anything but standing in one position,
yeah,
holding a camera, and here we are. This is
yeah,
really happening like right now.
yeah. That's so smart too. That's so important. Like, the one of the products that I have is a tracker, a symptom tracker
Mm,
for menopause, so that you can really start to track and do exactly what you said. Okay, what did I eat today? What did I
exactly.
eat just now? What was going on for me? Was it the stress of the moment where we were?
Yeah. What was
Was
my
it
mental state?
what
Exactly.
was your mental state? Was it, one of was the studio, was it really hot? Were the lights on you?
Absolutely.
What just like what could it have been? Did I have, yeah, I don't know, was it coffee? Was it tea? Was
Oh,
it was it wine? Was it this? Was it that? Not
wow.
like anybody's doing anything wrong, but you just like living your life doing what you always
Exactly.
do. And then suddenly now it's like, oh man, this it's not likened unto a disease. I don't want to, insinuate that at
Absolutely.
all. But it's just like if you found out that you had diabetes, if someone found out they had diabetes, they're going to have to
Mhm.
completely alter how they think about sugar or their,
Exactly.
dietary intake. They would have to make some adjustments and some changes. And so just like anything else, we have to think about our bodies, track our behaviors now, and see what changes do I need to excuse me, do I need to make. The same changes I may need to make might not be the changes you have to make. you know
Absolutely.
so we all
I'm glad you said that.
yeah, we
Everybody's
all
body makeup is different.
everybody's body makeup is different. So with these 64 different symptoms that
What?
can be relate,
Did you say 6'4"?
64. And that's just the ones that I have. There could be
Oh
more.
my god, 64 different I'm typing this out.
I'll just give you a few. So we've talked about the hot flashes, but what we didn't talk about, which is the same but not, night sweats. So
Okay, yes.
going
Okay.
to bed at night and all of a sudden, to having the hot flashes that occur during sleep and disrupt your sleep, which can
Absolutely.
also lead to some insomnia and some sleeplessness. But the sleeplessness is not always related to the hot flashes at night or the night sweats. Night sweats. So not
Okay.
just a hot flash, but just like profuse sweating at night, right?
Okay.
So imagine you are with a partner, you're married, a spouse, or whatever, and you are burning up and soaking up the sheets on your side, and that person is freezing cold, and you're like, "Oh my God, would you please turn the temperature, turn the turn the thermostat down?" And they're like, "It's already 30 degrees in here. What Like, okay, so what is it? We don't sleep together now, or like, we got to get one of those beds where one side's cool and
Exactly.
the changes have to be made
Well, listen, I've heard some people say we sleep in separate rooms, as they get older.
as they get older. And who want, you don't necessarily, some people,
Exactly.
but you don't necessarily want that. But the funny, we laugh about it, but these are the things that
Yeah,
impact relationships.
absolutely.
They impact relationships. So, especially like we talked about it already, men are saying, well, like, we don't even know what's going on. We don't even understand what's happening to
Mhm.
her. She hasn't talked about it. She may not even know. Like, all of a sudden, I'm having these night sweats. Like, what's the problem? Did I have, like, is it the medication that I just started taking for acne? Because
Mm.
because now I'm experiencing acne. So was it that? Was it this? Was it that? Was it the other? And you go to the doctor and they're like, okay, well, maybe we'll give you this, or maybe you can do that. And they're not saying, oh, you know what? This is another one of the symptoms that can, are you in menopause? Have we started menopause? Well, let's have a discussion about menopause,
Wow.
because these are some of the symptoms that you're describing that are a part of this process. You may, bring in your partner, your spouse, your whatever, and so we can talk about, have a conversation about these things so that they can be more understanding and aware of what you're going through, and kind of helping you along. Like, everybody can't come up with the same plan to deal with it, but at least if I know that that's what you're going through, I have more empathy for you and saying, okay, well, what can we do? You know,
That's
well,
good.
what
That's
can we do? Like,
Yeah.
we'll fold up this blanket and I'll have like 6 blankets on my side and you can just deal with the sheet, or whatever. eh,
What
This
do you
stuff.
do?
But
Exactly.
we don't know what we don't know. And then it could just lead to a fight, I'm just pulling the covers and
Absolutely.
you're just pushing the covers. So anyway, night sweats that disrupt sleep, irregular periods we talked about already,
Mhm.
duration, heaviness of flow, decrease in flow,
Ooh.
mood swings.
And
So,
we just thought it was a full moon outside causing that.
or because somebody got on my nerves yesterday,
Exactly.
or, whatever. But now, one day I'm happy, the next day I'm crying. The next week
Mm.
I'm feeling depressed. Like, I'm not even really sure I don't even know why I feel depressed. I just feel depressed. I can't get up off
Wow.
the couch. I don't want to be bothered. Don't call me. I ain't calling you. What, could you just leave me alone? I'm not cooking. I'm not just
Wow.
ugh, and then you're like, oh, hi, yeah.
It's
You
like,
do, and
who
it's
is this person right now in front of me? Yeah. Who is this person? You just told me to get away from you.
I know. Mood swings, irritability,
Yes.
anxiety too. Anxiety, you know, um, all of a sudden now maybe having like, I'm not going to necessarily relate it to panic attacks, but just like all of a sudden just super anxious. Um,
Wow. That's
yeah,
good. Okay.
and the brain fogginess we talked about, feeling
Mhm.
confused or having difficulty thinking clearly, forgetfulness. We talked a little bit about that.
Oh my goodness.
Depression, insomnia, fatigue, like super tired,
Mm.
just tired. And it doesn't necessarily have to be related to the sleeplessness or the insomnia, but it could be. But just
Okay.
super tired, low energy, because of course, we're having hormonal changes and
Yes.
fluctuations. It's up
Wow.
one day, it's down one day. Hair loss and thinning, we talked about, low libido,
Mhm.
painful sex, vaginal dryness, eye dryness, mouth dryness,
Oh my
which
gosh.
I know,
Oh my
mouth
gosh.
dryness that could lead to bad breath. So
Mhm.
halitosis is another one, right? And there's all kinds of things that are happening in our mouths that the
Yeah.
dentist, yeah, and the dentist is not like,
They don't know.
no,
Wow.
here, use a mouthwash. It's
Exactly.
I use a mouthwash, and 3 hours later, my breath stinks again, and people are like, "Ooh, ooh," you know?
Wow.
you know.
Wow, my mind is blown. First of all, 64. We haven't even gotten halfway through
I
all
know.
the different things, but it's this is what I think got me when you begin to break that down like you're doing right now. I was just mind blown, and I was someone new in this space.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my goodness. But I'm glad I'm getting the knowledge and the information now,
Yes.
because now I know when I go to a doctor, it's like, check this first, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Do hormonal checks. And, okay, so we've got time to go through a lot of these. But one of the things that I wanted to mention as well, and hopefully in one another episode we can talk about this, is really just like every single thing else related to health and wellness. Black women suffer more than other women of other nationalities and races. There are differences between how Black women go through menopause and how other races go through menopause.
Mm,
We tend to experience the symptoms longer than other women do. We tend to have them more fiercely. Our hot flashes we tend to be hotter, you know.
mm-hmm.
And then we also are treated differently as this is a known fact. We're treated differently in the healthcare system by
Absolutely.
providers. So we are less likely to get the treatment and the support that we need going through menopause than other women are. I know.
Man, it's yes, we
I know.
can never catch a break, it feels like, right?
I know. I know. But we're gonna get one right now on the
Absolutely.
morning crew. That's
Absolutely. And I think the key is being having the knowledge and the
yeah,
know-how, and just being really pay attention to your body. Pay
pay
attention to what's happening in your body.
It's really important. We do. That's exactly what we have to do. Pay attention to our body, be aware of things as they begin to change, have conversations, and these are
That is key.
having conversations about the changes. It's so interesting because, a few weeks ago, I had a conversation with a young lady who was going through some changes in her body, and
Mhm.
she didn't really talk about it. And I'm thinking, there's women all around you, whether or not they're older women your age or whatever. There's women all around you, and not blaming her at all, but this just is like what we go through. And
Yeah,
she was too embarrassed to talk about what was happening to her. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to share with you that I have been where you are. I've probably
absolutely.
been through similar things. So do you want to talk? Let's talk about it. And if you don't want to talk to me, let's find somebody that you can talk to. And then finally, opening up. But I remember being that
That
girl.
person. Absolutely.
I remember
Absolutely.
being that girl, you know? So yeah, this is
But
this
don't
is
be ashamed. And so I'm hearing, ladies, don't be ashamed to talk about this. Is a real thing. Menopause is a real thing. And as you broke it down, there's 4 phases of it.
yeah.
And we may be at all different phases, but it's a real thing. And to be quiet about it means you cannot get the help that you need. And so, and I have to tell you, that's why it was so important for me to partner up with Coach Kathleen, because she has the knowledge. She's passionate about it. She wants to educate women about their bodies, about this area, what's going on. And at the end of the day, I'm just thankful that once a month, you can, if nothing else, if you don't want to have coffee with me no other time, once a month, ladies, I think you should definitely just chime in. And you know what? As you were talking, I think it's going to be important also that maybe there's some group discussion where we have other women in studio with us to really be able to get in on a conversation, if you're okay
Yeah.
with that. Yeah. So I am
Absolutely.
looking, yeah, I'm looking forward to, just like you said, have the conversation. Let's talk about it. So, oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
definitely.
Listen, there is so much that we can talk about. But you know what, guys? We will never get all the information in one conversation. Nope. We can't do it.
We can't.
So, but now you have a lot going on, and I know you're working on a book right
Yes.
now
Yes,
about
2.
the
We got our
that's
anthology.
right. That's right. The anthology book, but you're working on a book. You want to
Yes.
give a little sneak peek and talk about it. And guys, don't worry, we'll make it available here when
Yes,
it comes out.
absolutely. This, it includes a lot of information that we're talking about now, but it's not just like, here's the information about menopause, here,
Absolutely.
take it and go. It's also including a lot of stories. It really is meant to, open women's hearts up so that they can see, hey, I'm not alone. I'm not alone in this. These are some of the things that I've experienced. I have some of my own stories in there, and stories from other women, and also a lot of conversation about men, that with men talking and couples and so forth. And this is like some of the work that I do: couples counseling, couples working together. Let's do a coaching session so we can talk about some of what you're experiencing and help you work through this thing together, so you don't have to be alone. um,
Absolutely.
and that's, and the book is just bringing out a whole lot, to make sure that women, I want to make sure that women do not have to take the road that I took, which is figuring it out
Along the way.
along, not even along the way, like kind of at the end of the journey, the end of the yellow brick road. I'm like, oh, that's what we've been doing. Okay. You
Yes.
know. So that's really the goal of it. So there's a lot of humor there, but there's
Mhm.
lot of a lot of empathy and a lot of encouragement, as well as information and resources and all kinds of things that a lot of what we've talked about here compiled together, so that women can not only see what is possible for them, but also to help guide them through conversations with
Yes.
family, with daughters, with sisters, with husbands and partners and sons. This is so interesting for me now to be able to sit down and have conversations about menopause with my son.
I love it.
I do.
So, how is he receiving that?
He's very interested. He's married, and his wife will at some point go through this. And
Exactly.
so he is, he's very, the sons love their moms. They want to know, hey, what are you dealing with? How can I help? What's the problems? What's your health like? What do you need?
Exactly.
I encourage you to make sure you're taking care of yourself. So he's in, just like if I were to tell him, okay, look, I got, whatever, cataracts, because I just recently had cataract surgery. Um,
Okay.
he was right there helping, support, what do you need, mom? Do you need me to come stay with you? Do you need to not drive while you're doing this? Do you need me to come pick up stuff?
I
Um,
love it.
put the eye drops in for post surgery. So like he took me to the surgery for one of the eyes. He's doing the eye drops. He's staying overnight. He's making sure that I'm taken care of. Just like that, he's interested.
I
You know,
love it. Wow. That's inspiring that men are opening up to want to be a part of the conversation, to
yeah,
find out, because they don't always want to be screamed on, or they don't always want to feel rejected or feel like they've done something wrong, because we don't know how to really handle our emotions for what it is we're going through, when we don't even know sometimes what it is we're going through.
that's right.
So that's good that people are asking the questions today. People want to know.
Yeah.
So I'm getting ready to put up here, Ask Coach Cathleen. And I'm putting up here where you can send your questions to. Because, like I stated, she is going to be here once a month. So we're at the end of October. So guess what? She'll be back in November.
Yeah.
And that's when we can really dive in, and we may only deal with maybe some specific topics. This one was an introduction. This Morning Brew was, let's get a well-rounded vision of what is menopause unmasked, right? So, but we're
Yeah.
going to dive deeper, and we're going to continue to dive deeper. We're going to continue to keep the conversation going until she is all set and now launching her own platform to say, hey, come to Coach V. You can ask Coach V. I mean, not Coach V. You can ask Coach Kathleen, right? You can ask Coach V is a nut. See, they already know. Those that follow, they already know. Coach V is another one. Dr. Coach V. Yeah. He's our leadership coach that comes on once a month.
Nice.
Also. He comes on once a month. But you'll be able to ask Coach Kathleen all the questions you need to ask about menopause. But for right now, I want you to send your questions to so we can be prepared when she comes back to start diving into these questions. Okay. But you can send your questions to, I'm putting the information up on the screen, to our email at morningbrew with Germaine at gmail.com. So it's morning brew with Germaine at gmail.com. And you know what? And in the next session, then we can start diving in, because I know it's going to be a lot of questions. And I want to make sure we get to everybody's questions, right? And
Yeah.
so let me add this on the screen. Ask Coach Kathleen. This is where you can send your questions to morningbrewwithgermaine at gmail.com, and we will make sure that all your questions are answered. Okay, fair enough. All right. So now, with that being said, what is it you want to leave with the people until we meet again?
You know what? I really think that it's, first of all, thank you so much for having me. It's just been wonderful talking with you. I love sharing this information, but it's even just so much better to be able to have a sister conversation of
Yes.
what we've been through and how we can help each other. So thank you so much for having me. And I
Oh, you are so welcome.
being with you monthly. But one of the things I really want to leave with women today, just, what you heard may have been a plethora of things that might feel confusing or feel like, oh my God, how will I ever deal with all of that? Or this is just too much. I don't even want to hear anymore. Why did God do this to us? Like, why, what else do we have to do? We had periods, then we don't have periods, then it's menopause, just all these things. But I want to encourage women, as I encourage myself, that this is not the end of womanhood. This is a transition in a phase of life that is going to bring us to even more and more glory. So as we are able to embrace it, there are all kinds of things that we'll be able to do and do together, and encourage one another and our families to be able to experience menopause just like we experience the rest of our lives. It's just a different phase of our lives. So it's a new beginning of a different phase of
Absolutely.
living. So it's like, we've all heard this phase, glory to glory. So
Yes.
we just go from glory to glory, from chapter to chapter, and we will kick this one out just like we've kicked out all the others,
That's
knock
right.
down,
Listen,
you know,
girl power.
girl power, beautiful, fabulous, sexy,
Absolutely.
loving life, doing our thing. Yes, indeed. So it is not over.
Absolutely.
This is a beginning, and we can go through menopause being as fabulous as we want to be.
Absolutely. So, I always just have like closing remarks, or, just in our final sip, we call it, right? Where we kind of bring things to a close. But for me, this is so special because I already feel empowered just sitting here with you today and really gaining the knowledge. I had no idea. First, there was 4 phases of menopause. Okay, so I'm learning too, right? So another one, I never thought there was 64 symptoms. Oh
Oh,
my goodness. Or more, and we're going to be able to, we didn't even get to all 64 today, so that's why it's important for you to join the conversation. Hey, bring your coffee, whatever you're drinking. A lot of people may not drink coffee. They may think it triggers hot flashes. But drink whatever you like. Just join in on the conversation on Morning Brew with Germaine. And this for me is really special. So I feel so blessed that God has really, I mean, you know what? When I think about it, I fought to start this platform
Mm.
because I was always operating behind the scenes, never in front of a camera. And you talk about 5 days a week. People are like, girl, how are you doing 5 days a week live? I'm like, I don't know, but you know what? I love doing it. I love the people that I'm meeting. I love building community. And once again, another friend to the family that's just joined the community, to be able to bring us knowledge, insight, information that's only going to help us in our daily walk. So it's a blessing, and I'm grateful. I
I
am
am
grateful.
too. I am
Yeah,
too. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you for this
absolutely.
platform. We need it. We need these conversations. It's so important to
It
our
is.
livelihood and our joy, to have these conversations and have places where we can go and be accepted and encouraged, empowered.
Absolutely. And knowing that it's a safe space.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a safe space. And so, hey, get your morning brew daily with Germaine, right? 5 days a week, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And right now, the thing I love about it, if you have not joined our community over on YouTube, make sure you go to YouTube. It's in the details or it's in the description. But go to YouTube, join the community, Morning Brew with Germaine. The numbers are growing. I mean, we have over 11,000 followers and it is global. And I know everybody may not chime in the conversation. Some people may like to watch from afar. That's okay too. I'm just glad you're stopping by for a quick coffee break. And so, with that being said, in our final sip and closing thoughts, Menopause Unmasked, it reminds us that transformation is not just physical,
Mm.
it's spiritual, emotional, and deeply personal. When women reclaim their voices and honor their journey, they don't lose power, they gain it. Keep that in mind. You don't lose power. So, talking about it, raising your voice, asking the questions. I always say I'm a master asker. I ask a lot of questions. That's how you learn things, right?
Absolutely.
So, this is not the time to be quiet. Something is going on. Hey, seek the information you need. So, until the next month, I can't wait. I'm already looking forward to it. Make sure you send your questions to morningbrewwithgermaine@gmail.com so we can be well prepared and equipped and get a lot of questions in, okay? All right, guys. So thank you, Coach Cathleen. Thank
Thank
you so
you. Thank
much.
you so much, Germaine. What a pleasure.
Oh my gosh, we're going to have so much fun. Oh my gosh. And I can't wait for the book to come.
Me too.
We might need to put some pressure on her to get this book out. We're going to need this book. And did you all hear? She said she has a chart so we can track when
Yes.
our hot flashes hit, right?
Yeah.
You'll get it in the book. So until next month, we'll coordinate a time. You just got to stay connected to know what Mixed Blend Wednesday of the month she'll be joining us. All
Yes.
right. And also, I do want to say this. If you are someone and you're interested in being part of a group discussion that's live, with Coach Cathleen, please just when you send us an email at morningbrewwithgermaine@gmail.com, let us know I'm interested in being on that platform. Let us know. So I'm looking forward to the discussion, the conversation ongoing.
Me too.
Yeah. All right, guys. Until then, just stay connected. Please make sure you're safe out there. Please, there's a lot happening in this world today. So please stay safe. And I'll see you tomorrow morning, Brew with Germaine. Thank you. All right, coach. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.